press article picking up the pieces after Islamabad. Get ready, start. The failure of the US Iran peace talks in Islamabad was unfortunate but hardly surprising. The distance between their declared positions, combined with 5 decades of accumulated mistrust, made it unrealistic to expect that 6 weeks of intense conflict could be followed by a viable peace framework in a single 20-hour negotiation. Yet there was reason for cautious optimism. The April 8 ceasefire appeared to offer a narrow but critical opportunity to step back from the brink of a wider regional war and a depending economic crisis. Both Washington and Tehran had declared victory, potentially creating political space for compromise. By sending senior leaders, US Vice President J.D. Vance and Iranian Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalib, the two sides signaled intent, but in seeking to maximize their advantages, they ensured the talks would falter. The meeting, facilitated by Pakistan and marking the highest level US Iran engagement since the 1979 revolution, was less a moment of reconciliation than an exercise in coercive diplomacy. Washington sought a full rollback of Iran's nuclear program and end to its support for regional proxies and the unconditional reopening of the Strait of Hormuz under established norms of free navigation. Tehran demanded sanctions, relief, compensation for war damage, and implicit recognition of its authority over the strait while linking any de escalation to a broader regional framework, including Israel's actions in Lebanon. Stop. These positions were not designed to converge, they were meant to signal resolve. The negotiations thus became less about compromise and more about messaging, especially to domestic audiences. Stop. Here, the asymmetry was stark. While US President Donald Trump faces political pressures at home, Tehran's challenge is far more acute. Building a domestic consensus for engagement with Washington would have been difficult even under normal conditions. Doing so after weeks of military battering and leadership decapitulation was nearly impossible. In India, public discussion has focused excessively on Pakistan's diplomatic role rather than the structural conflict between Washington and Tehran. The failure in Islamabad without even an extension of the ceasefire or a mandate for follow on talks darkens India's economic outlook. As the current round of assembly elections concludes, New Delhi will have greater room at home to confront the task of managing the economic fallout. Externally, the urgent priority is keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. Delhi's declared support for freedom of navigation is no longer adequate. India must now move towards active participation in the global effort to secure unimpeded commerce through the strait. Stop.